In our video number 15, let us talk about the working of investment multiplier. In the previous videos, we learned investment multiplier K is the change in income due to a change in investment. Also, that the value of K is directly proportional to the marginal propensity to consume. And we also know that the marginal propensity to consume lies between 0 and 1. When marginal propensity to consume is 0, the value of K or the investment multiplier is 1, and when the marginal propensity to consume is equal to 1, the value of investment multiplier is infinity. And therefore the value of K lies between 1 and infinity. This implies that the value of K is always greater than 1. Or instead of K, we can write delta Y by delta I. So delta Y by delta I is greater than I, 1. This implies that delta Y is greater than delta I. So a change in investment will always cause a multiple change in income. Now that is how the investment multiplier works. Let's now try to understand this with the help of a numerical example. In this example, let us suppose that the marginal propensity to consume is equal to 0.8. This shows that 80% of the income is being consumed. And let us say that there is an additional investment equal to 1000 crore, let's say by the government on some project. So this extra investment of 1000 crore will generate an additional income of 1000 crore in the country in the first round. Why? Because one's expenditure is others' income. One's expenditure is others' income. So if you spend some amount on buying a goods or service, you are going to pay some amount. That will be an income for the other person. Hence, one's expenditure is others' income. So that is the fundamental thing that lies between the working of investment multiplier. Now since the MPC of here is given as 0.8, the people who receive this additional income, which was the additional income here, 1000 rupees, will spend 80% of this additional income. That is, their consumption will be 80% of 1000, which is equal to 800, and save the remaining, which is 20%. If MPC is 0.8, what is MPS? 0.2. 1 minus 0.8 is 0.2. Hence saving will be 20%, which is equal to 200. Now this investment, this income will be called as the primary investment. This will be called as the primary investment. Now this investment will generate or cause a chain of secondary consumption spending. Now this 800, which is the consumption, change in consumption, will become the income in the second round. So this 800 is the income generated, and 80% of this income is going to be consumed in the second round, which happens to be 80% of 800 equal to 640 rupees, and 20% of it is 160, which will be saved. Now this saving will also be called as leakage, because this saving goes out of the circular flow of income. Now in the third round, this consumption, since we learned one's expenditure is others' income, this comes back as the income in the third round. Now 80% of this income will be consumed, which is 512, and 20% will be saved, which is 128. Now this process will go on infinitely and come to an end when increase in savings will become equal to the increase in investment. What is the increase in investment? 1000 crore. So when the savings become equal to the increase in investment, this process will come to an end. Now what happens to the value of multiplier? The value of multiplier is given by delta y by delta I. What was the change in investment? The change in investment was 1000 rupees. And what is the change in income? It is 5000 rupees. So the investment multiplier is given by 5. Now you may ask, how did we get the value of delta y? We know there is a relationship between MPC and the investment multiplier. So delta y by delta I is equal to 1 by 1 minus MPC, or delta y is equal to delta I into 1 by 1 minus MPC. Putting the values of delta I, what is delta I? The additional investment 1000 crore, or whatever is here, 1000, into 1 by 1 minus MPC is given as 0.8, put 0.8. This is equal to 1000 into, this gives us 1 by 0.2, and the value of this is 5. So 5 into 1000 gives us 5000. So that's how you calculate the change in income. So the change in income divided by change in investment gives us the value of the multiplier. Let us now look at the various values of MPC and MPS, which will give us the value of the multiplier. What we need to remember over here is MPC is the slope of consumption curve and MPS is the slope of saving curve. So when MPC is equal to 1, MPS is equal to 0, because MPC plus MPS is equal to 1. And when MPC is 1, we learned value of K is infinity. If MPC reduces to 0.9, MPS will be 0.1. In that case, the value of the multiplier becomes 10 times. So we are going to decrease MPC and increase MPS. So at various levels, let us see the values of K. MPC is 0.8, so MPS is 0.2, and therefore value of K is 5. When MPC is 7 and MPS is 3, it is 3.3. And when it is 0.6, this is 0.4, we get 2.5. Now what's important over here is when MPC is equal to MPS. When this is 0.5, this is also 0.5. That means when the slope of the consumption curve is equal to the slope of the saving curve, the value of investment multiplier is 2. This is very, very important, and you need to remember this. These two lines will be parallel. Their slopes are equal, and so on and so forth. So as the MPC decreases, MPS increases. Since MPC and K are directly proportional, as the value of MPC decreases, so also the value of K. When MPS increases, they are inversely proportional, and hence the value of K decreases. You may try one problem. In an economy, 75% of additional income is spent on consumption. Assuming that the investment increases by 800 crore, Explain the working of multiplier. What we saw just now, the table, you have to form a table in which 75% of the income is spent on consumption. That means MPC is 0.75 and change in investment is 800 crore. So delta I is given as 800 crore and MPC is 0.75. So accordingly you can draw a table with the income, change in investment, MPC and MPS. I hope you will be able to do that. Next, let us look into a problem. If saving function is given, S is equal to minus 10 plus 0.2y and ex ante investments are rupees 240 crore, then calculate equilibrium level of income and additional investments needed to double the present level of equilibrium income. Let's try to solve this problem. At equilibrium, we know S is equal to I. Remember the SI approach. And we are given I, ex ante investment equal to 240. So what is the value of S? 240. So put 240 in place of S is equal to minus 10 plus 0.20y. So y will be equal to, rearrange to get y is equal to 1250 crore. Now the second question asks us the additional investment needed to double the present level of equilibrium income. Now this is a saving function. So 0.20 is MPS, isn't it? So what is the value of K? K is 1 by MPS equal to 5. Now the question demands doubling the existing level of income, which is equal to 1250 here. Let additional investment equal to delta I. Then multiplier is equal to delta y by delta I. Now we know K is equal to 5. Put the values. 5 is equal to, what was the change in income? 1250 divided by delta I. Rearrange it, you get delta I is equal to 250 crore. So we need an additional investment of 250 crore in order to double the present level of equilibrium income. So that's how you would solve problems based on investment multiplier.